What do professional football and bankruptcy have in common? That's the topic this week on Rochelle's Daily Wire, Video Edition. As we all know from reading the newspapers, former professional athletes have a far higher incidence of bankruptcy than the general population. Although that's a topic the leagues all need to deal with, so their players will have better lives after they retire. That's not what we're going to talk about. Instead, let's focus on that enormous class action lawsuit that former players in the National Football League brought against the NFL to recover damages on account of brain injuries they sustained as a result of repeated blows to the head and concussions. The question is, if a player is receiving settlement payments as a result of the settlement in that NFL class action lawsuit, are those settlement payments exempt assets that a player can keep after filing bankruptcy, or do they go to creditors? That's a really big deal, isn't it? Because it makes an enormous difference in how that player is going to live in his years after retirement. Now, ordinarily, one would figure that if you have a tort claim, and I guess you could say that the class action lawsuit was on account of torts for brain injuries received by these players. Those torts in most states are probably not exempt assets. Well, that was not the point of view taken by bankruptcy judge John K. Olson in a decision he handed down in late June in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And that decision is reported in my column on the ABI website on July 3. Judge Olson looked at it this way. These payments were not, he said, on account of a tort claim. Rather, they are disability payments, which indeed are exempt assets under Section 522D10 of the Bankruptcy Code. As I said, this is a really big deal because it can make an enormous difference in the quality of life that players have after retiring from the NFL. You can read about this case as well as hundreds of others on my column on the ABI website, where you will also find a wealth of other information that is extremely valuable for anybody who has anything to do with bankruptcy. Until this time next week, this is Bill Rochelle signing off for American Bankruptcy Institute.